my brother, actually, my younger brother, studies philosophy at university.
Oh.
He actually introduced me to your channel, Paul.
Oh, really? Haven't you? That's
yeah. And he started to read. He went through a similar renaissance in his religious conviction during a few years ago during lockdown, and he read Guy Eaton as someone that he came across. Of course, you have Islam and the Destiny of Man.
Oh, I'll wheel it out. I always do. There we go. No, I do.
Well, yeah, at the very least, it's a pretty cover, so it's no harm in you bringing it out.
This is true.
But it's a fantastic book. But actually, the one that I think is even better is Remembering God, which is his other book, and it's got a blue cover. And I've left it at university, but that is really good. I think Islam and the Destiny of Man is a nice, comprehensive
first book on Islam by a Muslim, anything I ever read. And I remember I bought it from Waterstones at Piccadilly Circus some time ago, and I read this and thought, this is good. What else has he written? And then I read that one. And before I knew it, even though I was a Christian at the time, in reading it, it transformed me. And I was Muslim in my inner being, even though ideologically, creedally, I was still a Christian, but it actually completely changed me. And so I had to kind of collect my head and my heart in the end.
Well, and the really cool thing about Guy Eaton is Guy Eaton, if you read the introduction to Islam and the Destiny of Man, he's a radical skeptic at a very young age. You know, his mother wants him to not be atheist, but to be agnostic, to find his own answer within the world. And so he disregards everything he's taught from a very young age, and through a very organic journey comes to the idea of Islam. And this is a theme that I think is really interesting. I'm very fascinated by people who convert to Islam, mainly because I almost feel like I did a semi-conversion to Islam.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
yes.
Did. Yeah.
And if you look at some of the people who convert to Islam, they do it very organically and very intuitively. I mean, I've got The Road to Mecca by Muhammad Asad. If you've not read that, that's quite a good book.
Another great classic, which I highly recommend.
Which is good to read, I think, because it's not it's not prescriptive. It's quite it's like a novel. It's almost a novel.
It's incredibly compelling. Absolutely extraordinary book.
Yeah, that's a good one to read. Again, Guy Eaton's very good. I think if you were to listen to a podcast, I think listening to someone like Abdul Hakim Murad's Paradigms of Leadership on, there were two that were really good. I think William Williamson is I mean, you could make a film about that man's life and that would be remarkable. And it's this idea that by going through the world, a lot of them travel quite a lot, which is interesting, to the East and other places. They travel, they engage with nature.
Because Guy Eaton was born in Switzerland to British parents. He was British and came back to London. And you got Muhammad Asad, of course, who was Leopold Weiss. I think he was a Jew originally. He ended up going to Saudi Arabia and living with a Bedouin for years before he did his famous translation. So these were great travelers.
Yes, and weirdly, a lot of them were ambassadors for their nations or various nations. And
Muhammad Asad was ambassador for Pakistan to the United Nations. And he was actually a diplomat for the British government.
He was a diplomat, indeed, and I think he was in Egypt and Jamaica and other places as well. But the point is, when they travel through the world on their journeys, and if you read about what they experience, you can get a flavor for Islam that you don't necessarily get in your community in East London or Birmingham or wherever you've grown up. You get a very organic feel of what it's like when a group of people have internalized the teachings of Islam.